Okay, so this is SAMO. In SAMO, you play as SAMO. I've tried to put your controls up on the wall, graffiti. So this would be a nice subtle way to do it. As SAMO, you have telekinetic abilities, where you can pull boxes to you with your left click, charge them by holding your right click, and then when you release, it throws it. Movement is WS. I tried to do AD, and no matter what I did, the animation would not turn that way. Even though it said it was a root animation, turned out I don't think it is. So you turn with your mouse, and you just go straight, full speed ahead. It has full working camera collisions. That took a really long time, but it still bugs out in some surfaces. Maybe right here. No, I guess it decided to work. I tried to subtly hint to what your objective is at this point. I really want a narrative in here, but not like in your face about it. So here I put days without food. It kind of tells you who SAMO is, which of the following are omnipotent: Coca-Cola, John Lennon, Mickey Mouse, SAMO. Here's his little bed and a Sprite tin cans. We made all this. Yeah, so here's your days without food. And here are the people watching you. There's one of these in like every room. Not all of them have people. That just became kind of extraneous. So they're just in the first room. They're the ones you can really see up close like this. So going back to controls. For playtesting, I've seen most people just ignore this. And they just kind of walk right up to this. The reticle helps. Most people know that means you can click on things. So they just kind of pick it up right away. There's only one other object in this room. It's right here. People just run up to it and then drop it. But I tried to give you plenty of space. You could throw it around if you picked up what it was. If you pick up in direction and you charge, yeah, it increases the rotation speed. Not by much, but it depends where you pick it up. If you tend to pick up things on the bottom, it's been a little better. Yeah, and then here is like kind of an allusion to your memory fragments that come up later. Butterflies represent your memory fragments. So you can kind of just, yeah. And then the triggers all have a magnetic code on it for boxes, just because early in playtesting, part of the game was like throwing the box on there perfectly, and that was really annoying. So now if you just like get in there, it'll pull it. So that's the first room. The other thing I had to figure out was not to get people to bring boxes in other rooms. So the first problem was there's a trigger behind here that closes the door when the player crosses it. So players were just like running into the door because the box parents to the player, and they were opening the door that way, and then they had all the boxes at the end, which was pretty unattended. Or I had one friend who had a lot of fun just like throwing it out of the game. But I made it now, so you can't do that. You should bounce it back in most areas. If you can't, it'll bring it back in. Same thing here. People tried to cheese it that way as well. When you throw it out, it'll bring it back in. Yeah, so that's the first room. That's most of the safety nuts that are throughout all the game. You come through your first hallway here, and you'll be introduced to the corruption pits, which are the only way you can die. Respawn right there. It's a pretty easy jump though, and the whole game is forgiving with spawn points. So yeah, door opens up here, come into the second room. Yeah, I'm trying to keep the kind of laboratory vibe as you play through this. So here the player has to learn to grab that box. There is no way to jump across this. Everyone has tried all that stuff. Thankfully it's been hard. It's actually been super cool, people realizing they can grab it. Sorry. You can, the idea is you throw the box into the center here, kind of use it as a little bridge. And that's like the first way to do your box in this level. And then the second way to use it, scan the high grounds. And there used to be another thing here where you had to go high ground again, but it became kind of tedious, and people were taking kind of a little too long for this part, so I just made it normal stairs, kind of. Here's the first memory fragment. I would say half the people miss these, but that's okay. They're supposed to be optional. They're extra narrative stuff. Basically, when you hit it, a memory will spawn in, and it has to do with the narrative, but this is the first level of the game, so I really wanted it to be more questions than having any resolution at the end. So when you hit it, the train comes in through the wall, some people hanging out. Yeah, pretty cool. So, back on there. This has the same safety nuts to where the box should get stuck. Yeah, it's gone. And then the door closes. Yeah. Here is the max jump test. Gotten a lot easier now that you're not a cylinder and doesn't clip on the floor. So you just jump across pretty easy. Drop down to the third room. This room has been pretty cool to see what people do. I intended for players to, one, jump over here, and then jump over here. But most people have actually just been skipping that altogether. Maybe I can make that. Nope, try going. Yeah, the memory fragment. You don't get anything for completing them all. I was gonna do like an alternate ending thing, but yeah, there wasn't any time for that. So yeah, it says the new setting, kind of shows the skybox that I've set up. Then this door. This is another thing where people have been doing it kind of weird, and I probably have to redesign this a bit because I really do want to enforce throwing the box by this point. But some sneaky players have figured out that you can still just do the same method, because I made it just close enough to where you could jump back. Yeah. And coming up into the last room. It's annoying. The room has been kind of annoying to make. It probably has had the most fixes along the way from the blueprint stage to the final stage. That's some people have a hard time realizing the door opens behind them, but it takes only a few seconds, I guess. So memory fragment. This again alludes to kind of the memory of the place. There you are. There we go. That's the sign flag. Yeah, this opens this door. This button in here doesn't progress you in the game. It's actually a safety net in case someone pulls that one into here, which happened a lot in early playtests, and then I had no way for the player to get out. Probably design flaw by me. Probably should set the door stay up, but that kind of wasn't the idea I was going for. So this pad just, you're gonna see it. This is the moving platform code that we got in class. And I've been using it for doors. So it kind of bugs out when you do that, but keeps people from getting stuck in there. Another memory fragment, and that's all of those. This one's, I guess, a little more gruesome. See the corruption that you've been avoiding is now killing people. Okay. So to solve this puzzle, you actually need both boxes. Across here. I tend to just throw it from here. I've seen people not figure it out until they get up on top of there. Oh yeah, I also had movement shake on the camera if you're at full throw speed. Problem with it right now is it only works in the direction you picked it up on. So if I look over there, it stops. It's kind of annoying, but I'll fix it. So you blast that over there. Come across, and a short. Throw it in, jump. There we go. Yeah. In a newer build, this actually goes to the wall. A lot of people I've noticed some people jump over there, and it's just not fun. So that's just not in this build. So you pull it up. Same thing you were doing in room 2. Yeah. So the intent of this one, you have to use both these boxes to open both doors over there. There's one. Oh. A little more power. There we go. Like that. An interesting thing about this puzzle, if people actually haven't figured out how to power fail, and that's still, I mean, I think I need something on the UI that shows the power charge, but I was trying to avoid that and stick to like particle effects and sound and stuff that never got to it. So a lot of people have just been kind of doubling up on these boxes, jumping across, which is pretty cool. And then for some reason it's in this one when it clicks, like, oh, you know, I can probably throw it further than I thought. My bad if that took that long. Definitely need to fix that. And then this bridge that comes up is actually designed for the people who did that. They would jump back down, there's no way to get the boxes. I felt the doors and platforms moving. I guess a bridge coming up. It's kind of fitting. So you come across, and here's the final room. Tall doors. And then here's the room. Here's your prize, pizza. So yeah, that is the SAMO.